sky. Imagine all the people living for today.
Nikola, can you tell us what was happening after the NATO bombing in 1999?
After the NATO bombing was over, people were kind of happy because the bombing was over, but still furious about the regime that caused the bombing of 1999. After the bombing was over in June, I believe, and in September, they started protesting against the regime of our president at that point. And protest was really long. They were really long, and they were really causing a lot of anger in people, and causing a lot of stress in all Serbia, and mostly in Belgrade, because the protest was taking place in Belgrade capital.
So how did that all organized? How was that organized? What did people do? How did they protest?
There was most of the protests were very peaceful, and people were just gathering in like main squares in Serbia, mostly in Belgrade, and just walking around close to like all the prime, let's say the national TV, the house of the president, the government building. They were just walking around with whistles and mostly
banners, posters.
Exactly, and mostly peacefully protesting against the regime. However, in that point, police and the army was still in the power of that regime, and they were sending policemen, police squads and army squads at the end with tanks and with a full equipment on them to stop protesting, and they were really brutal to all the people, including me. At that point, I was 16. And
so what did the police do to the people?
Most of the time, they were just stopping on like some certain, I believe, like main positions in the city, like close to main squares, close to the president's house, which was in that point, people were very angry at him after the bombing and after all what happened in the 90s during the war in Bosnia as well. So in that point, they were just standing and waiting for us while we were walking in the city. And then just if you wanted to pass by them, they started beating the hell out of people.
So did you ever get hit?
Of course I got hit. I got hit on many times. They were throwing tear gas on us, and at the end, when they didn't have any other options, they were shooting with rubber bullets in people.
So what is the gas? What are consequences?
Tear gas. I smelled it and I felt it a lot of times in protests and also in soccer games at that point. But it causes crying, of course. It says tear gas. But in that point, they were throwing again some poison that was used for wars, not only for protesting. So most of the people were vomiting on the street, falling without conscious on the ground, couldn't breathe for a long time, going to emergency rooms as well. And it was very, even I was a young kid, I was 16 years old. I was very stressed about it, and I saw people, like old people, 60, 70 years old, crying on the street, couldn't stand up still and just walk.
So actually tomorrow it's how many years since
Tomorrow is going to be,
5th?
Tomorrow is going to be 10 years after October 5th, when we throw off the government at that point. It was 2000, after the protests in 1999. There were elections in 2000, and then into 24th of September, I believe, and then 5th of October was the biggest protest in that point. There were like 500,000 people were on the street, and then they gathered.
It was pretty violent.
It was pretty violent. They were in point when the police and the government saw that there are too many people on the street. In one point they just gave up and the police and the army surrendered to people from the precincts and from the military objects in the city.
So do you think in overall did demonstrations have consequences on people?
I think they do. I think mostly physical pain is gonna come and go every time, but mental problems in the people they suffered a lot. Even my close family was on all the time on medications for what do you say
Stress.
for depression and for stress. So even from my point of view, it's a pretty big deal for the whole. I mean, for the whole country, I guess, at that point. And yeah, mentally, there's a lot of problems. Physical pain is gonna come and go, like I had it, but mental consequences probably gonna be. We're gonna feel it probably even in like 10, 15 years. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for talking with us.
Thank you.